عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. I'm just gonna go live on Instagram as well. Just give me 1 second, inshallah. There we go. Bismillah. Okay, here we go. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. أيوة كده. I'm just going live here and going live there. Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum. How are you? Ahlan, Sister Sajida. How are you? Brother Subhan from Melbourne. How are you? And Sister Rosali. MashaAllah. How are you, Sister Rosali? Yes, Sister Yasmin. Najam. Lasmali. How are you? From Singapore, right? Sister Fatima. Alaikum salam. How are you? Hafiz here from UK, of course, Brother Hafiz Mughal. How are you? Are you all doing okay? Humaira, Sister Humaira, how are you? I hope you're all doing fine, inshallah. Enigmatic artist. Enigmatic artist. Assalamu alaikum, how are you? Mushumin 86. I don't know. Assalamu alaikum. Whoever you are. فاطمة الزهراء بن سعيد وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. كيف حالكم؟ كيف أصبحتم؟ ولا كيف أمسيتم؟ Depending where you are. Badr Ayaz Bati وعليكم السلام. Oh, Scotland is in the house tonight. Scotland is online. But Ayaz, how are you? Long time no smell. Long time no smell, man. How's your wife? How are the kids doing? I hope you're all doing fine. Is my guy. أيوة. كيف حالكم رزمالي مريم Rizi dude, how are you? Assalamu alaikum, all of you. I'm just saying salam to everybody who just joins, and I'll give you time for more people to join us, inshallah. Mushomi 86. Wow. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakallah khair. Maryam, wa alaikum salam. How are you? كيف حالكم? And I welcome you first of all. شازية بط وعليكم السلام. Sister Sajia, Sister Sadiq, حياك الله حبيبنا الكريم. All right, I'm very happy that you're online, all of you. But Ayaz, very happy that you're joined. Finally, you missed this is our 9th lesson. This is our 9th session number 9. And they're all recorded on Facebook, by the way. On Instagram, they only last for 24 hours, but on Facebook, alhamdulillah, they're all there. But the Najam, كيف حالك أخي نجم? كيف حال هي? All the Pakistanis, Indians, Bangladeshis, كيف حال هي? All of you. I don't know how you say كيف حالكم in Arabic, حالكم, when in plural, but when it's one person, كيف حالك or كيف حالك, right? Whether it's male or female. But in Urdu, do you say kiya hal hay for one and kiya hal hay for plural, like for many people, or is there another is there another form, if you want to address the plural? Do you say kiya halukum? How do you say that in Urdu? All right. Wa alaikum salam, Sister Fardosa. And Riyad Murad is in town. Allahu Akbar. Yes, but the Hafiz, I know where you're from. A Touch of Egypt, welcome. Muna, assalamu alaikum, Sister Muna. And J Vocals, Allahu Akbar, J Vocals. I'd like to, mashallah, jazakallah khair for joining, all of you. And I'm so happy you're there, by the way. Would you like to do a nasheed for us, Brother J Vocals, before we start? Would you like to do a nasheed for us? If you want to do a small nasheed, you can join me, inshallah, live. If you want. If you don't want, it's okay. Walaikum salam. I missed you, J Vocals. I really missed you, man. This brother, you know, is an artist, inshallah, mashallah, from the UK. So if you want to do nasheed, you can join me live. It's a short one before I start my session, inshallah ta'ala. It's about the end of time. If you don't want, all right, yallah. This is a treat, brothers and sisters. This is a treat. I have a brother from the UK, Zallah Khair, is a nasheed artist. He's been with me on some tours, you know, fundraising tours, and he's Zallah Khair, he has accepted to join me for a quick nasheed. So how did I do this? Let me do here. Go live. I'm sending your request. Please accept the request. Go live. And those of you on Facebook, I hope you can hear this. Ahlan! How are you, my man? Walaikum salam, akhi. How are you? It's so dark in there. You must be in quarantine.
I am in quarantine. I can't take my hat off because my hair is like this long.
You know what? Don't embarrass me, because today I cut my hair by myself and my daughters were laughing at me. You don't want to look at my back. My back is all.
You're naturally very handsome.
No. Don't say that. Don't say that. In the back, it's all messed up. You know, it's really like a mess. So they were all, because I didn't want. It's just by myself. I took the thingy and they were just doing this. So, but I'm so happy to see you. Jazakallah khair for joining.
Me too, Chef. Honestly, I was looking forward to seeing you in Ramadan as well.
Wallah, subhanallah, me too. But Allahu A'lam, you know, this Ramadan will be interesting, inshallah.
It'll be very scary.
Yeah. What would you like to sing for us, inshallah, today?
Yeah, I need to eat as well, so I'm just going to quickly sing something, inshallah.
Yeah, please, go ahead.
Yeah.
Brothers from Facebook, I hope you can hear, this is an amazing artist from the UK, from London, and he's about to deliver a very nice short song for us. Go ahead, brother. Bismillah.
في سكون الليل يدعو في سجودي والدجى حولي سواد في سوادي يا رؤوفا يا رحيما يا حليما يا كريما ما لفضلك من نفادي يا سميعا يا مجيبا يا عظيما اهدني يا خالق السبع الشداد أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب العباد وانتشت روحي وسار الدمع يجري يا إلهي خذ بقلبي للرشاد.
Allahu Akbar, mashallah, mashallah, mashallah. Amazing. One more, but can you do it in the majority are Urdu speaking? Can you do it in Urdu?
Yeah, sure, of course.
Would you like to hear a nasheed in Urdu, brothers, sisters, a nasheed in Urdu? How about that? They all say na'am. Go ahead. Yallah, bismillah. Go ahead. In Urdu.
टूटा टूटा एक परिंदा ऐसे टूटा कि फिर चुरा पाया लूटा लूटा किसने उसको ऐसे लूटा कि फिर उड़ ना पाया गिरता हुआ वो आसमां से आकर गिरा जमीन पर ख्वाबों में फिर भी बादल ही थे वो कहता रहा मगर के अल्लाह के बंदे हंस दे अल्लाह के बंदे हंस दे जो भी हो कल फिर आएगा अल्लाह के बंदे हंस दे अल्लाह के बंदे हंस दे जो भी हो कल फिर आएगा.
MashaAllah.
That's actually my own one, Sheikh.
Allahu Akbar. Allah ke bande. What does that mean?
Who's that?
Allah ke bande. What does it mean?
Oh, Allah ke bande means the slave of Allah.
Oh, the slave of Allah. MashaAllah. MashaAllah.
this is a beautiful song that matches our current time because it's about.
Yes, listen.
It's saying, it talks about a bird and how a bird breaks its wing and comes to the ground.
Okay.
But at the same time, you know, he doesn't know. His mind is still in the sky.
Yalla, bismillah.
And he's saying, no matter whatever troubles you're in, O slave of Allah, smile. Because Allah will grant you the ability to come out. There's basically light at the end of every tunnel.
Allahu
That's
Akbar.
the moral of Islam.
Allahu Akbar. MashaAllah, 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 MashaAllah. I'm so proud of you. I admire you. I really admire what you do. MashaAllah, la quwwata illa billah. Such a beautiful voice. May Allah protect you and protect your voice and protect you from the evil eye. Protect you from all evil, inshallah ta'ala. Ameen, ameen. Jazakallah khair.
I really appreciate this. We love you so much.
Thank you. I love you too. Wallahi, for the sake of Allah. Jazakallah khair. Thank you so much for joining. Barakallah fi.
I'll probably join the live in a bit again, inshallah.
Okay, inshallah. Inshallah. Please. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. MashaAllah, la quwwata illa billah. Did you guys enjoy this? Brothers and sisters, did you enjoy the piece? MashaAllah. In Urdu, it was really nice. Although I didn't understand, but really the tune was really nice. And the one in Arabic was also really nice. MashaAllah, la quwwata illa billah. Okay, so let's start our thing. Bismillah. Walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Back talking about the end of, mashallah, all those hearts for the brother, of course. A lot of hearts. People are sending a lot of hearts. You know, mashallah, jazakumullah khair, jazakumullah khair. Back into the end of time. We're gonna, break that little bit tone, to talk about the reality that we're in. To talk about jazakallah khair. Look at all the loves that they're sending you. Mashallah, they love you. Inshallah, I'm gonna talk about 3 minor signs, quick, inshallah. I'm trying to summarize them, but I wanna again, the purpose is not just to list the minor signs or the major signs, but the purpose is to, inshallah ta'ala, go through these signs and derive lessons for them, because a lot of them relate to us, especially what's going on today. Nowadays there's a lot of signs which already have appeared, and there's some signs that we are actually witnessing right now, and there are some minor signs which have not appeared yet, right? So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, in this beautiful hadith reported by Imam Ahmad and Imam Al-Hakim, لا تقوم الساعة حتى يظهر الفحش والتفاحش وقطيعة الرحم وسوء المجاورة. I think all of them have appeared. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, لا تقوم الساعة حتى يظهر الفحش أو الفحش والتفاحش بصيغة المبالغة وقطيعة الرحم وسوء المجاورة. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that one of the signs of the hereafter, that the sign, the day of judgment will not appear until you see al-fuhsh, until you see outrageous and obscenity, al-fahisha, obscenity, and then you see qati'at al-rahim, severing the ties of kinship, or cutting the ties of kinship. And number 3, su' al-mujawara. What does that mean? Not treating your neighbors, or treating your neighbors, or ill manners in treating the neighbors. Ill manners in treating the neighbors. So there are 3 signs that the Prophet Muhammad has mentioned here, that the hour, or one of the signs of the hour, the day of judgment. He mentioned the obscenity, and outrageous acts. He mentioned qati'at al-rahim, severing the kinship, the ties of kinship. And number 3, he said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, ill treatment towards our neighbors. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu wasalam. What does, let's start one by one, inshallah ta'ala. Obscenity, outrageous acts. Ibn al-Athir, one of the predecessors, he says, هو القبيح في الأعمال والأقوال. That which is evil in terms of actions and also words or things that you utter. Not necessarily just actions that we call obscene or something outrageous. It could be actions and also foul language. Foul language. Don't you hear that nowadays? a lot, out there. And this is something that really has prevailed in social media, in the news. You can even, you cannot even start or watch a decent movie with your family, a film on TV or whatnot, you without having to go to some really obscene scenes. And maybe there are some clean movies out there, but they're very, very, very few, right? But just as I'm saying now, in general, subhanallah, this obscenity that has appeared nowadays in terms of things that you hear, things that people say, and things that people do. This is something that the Prophet Muhammad has mentioned, as it will be one of the signs of the Day of Judgment. Because, brothers and sisters, really, the sister, I'm going to be covering all the signs, inshallah, minor and major signs. I mentioned that I don't want to just list you these minor signs and then move on. Here they are, okay, no. But that's not the point. There's so many books out there that talk about them, and there's so many lectures out there that just talk about, okay, here they are. But that's not my aim here. My aim is to not just list them, but also to discuss them like I'm doing now. And then, inshallah ta'ala, I'll talk about the major signs, and define them in detail, one by one, inshallah, in detail. So each session will cover at least one or two signs, Allah ta'ala. Okay? So, as I mentioned, I think our sickness today and is really has to do with akhlaq, with moral conducts, mannerism, our manners, our character. I'm talking about Muslims. I'm not even talking about non-Muslims, right? I'm only focusing on the Muslims, my brothers and sisters. إنما الأمم الأخلاق ما بقيت فإنهم ذهبت أخلاقهم ذهبوا. There's this beautiful poem that in Arabic that says about nations. Nations are based on their akhlaq. If the characters perishes, the nations will perish as well. And this is exactly what is happening today, my brothers and sisters. You don't have to be a Muslim to have good manners and good character. This is what the Prophet Muhammad, when he talked about those with good morals and characters and manners, and we will talk more about this inshallah ta'ala. الفحش في القول وفي الأفعال. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says in hadith reported by Imam Ahmad, he says, ما من شيء أثقل في ميزان المؤمن يوم القيامة من حسن الخلق وإن الله يبغض الفاحش الرديء. Allahu Akbar. In one hadith that the Prophet says, إن الله تعالى يبغض الفاحش المتفحش. الفاحش المتفحش. In one hadith the Prophet says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dislikes, يبغض, he hates the one with obscene manners, the one who has ill manners. Allah Azza wa Jal dislikes him. He hates him subhanahu wa ta'ala. In another hadith, the Prophet Muhammad says in Tirmidhi, ما من شيء أثقل في الميزان. There is nothing that puts more weight on the mizan. There is nothing that would put more weight in the balance, in the scale of the Day of Judgment, more than the husn al-khuluq, more than the good manners, good etiquettes, good adab, right? Although in Urdu we say adab, good adab. وَإِنَّ اللَّهَ يُبْغِضُ الْفَاحِشَ الْبَدِيء. The Prophet says that Allah Azza wa Jal hates this fahish, this badi, the one who has no manners. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala dislikes that person. وَالْعِيَادُ بِاللَّهِ. Because sisters and brothers, بِحُسْنِ الْخُلُقِ, with good manners, you can reach the highest level in Jannah. Isn't it? With good manners, with good morals and conduct, you can really reach very high level in Jannah. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says in hadith reported by Tirmidhi and Abu Dawud and narrated by al-Mu'minin Aisha radiallahu anha wa ardaha, she said that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, إِنَّ الْمُؤْمِنَ لَيُدْرِكُ بِحُسْنِ خُلُقِهِ دَرَجَةَ الصَّائِمِ الْقَائِمِ. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. The Prophet again, he says sallallahu alaihi wasallam that the mu'min, the believer, لَيُدْرِكُ بِحُسْنِ خُلُقِهِ دَرَجَةَ الصَّائِمِ الْقَائِمِ. Imagine, sisters and brothers, if you were to fast always throughout your life, every day. And then you stand up and pray at night every night, all your life. Imagine this. Somebody throughout his life, 60, 70, 80 years old, right? Throughout his life, he's been fasting every day and then Qiyam al-Layl every night. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that a man will reach the highest level in Jannah through husn al-khuluq, because husn al-khuluq, the good manners, it is as if equivalent or as if somebody, the one who stands up the whole night praying and spends the whole day fasting. Look at the cardinality, the importance of husn al-khuluq, having good manners, good akhlaq, good adab. Tirmidhi and Ibn Majah, they mentioned this hadith which is sahih, that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam says, narrated by Jabir, "Inna min ahabbikum ilayya wa aqrabukum minni majlisa yawm al-qiyamah ahasnu akhlaqa." Sisters and brothers, who wants to be with the Prophet Muhammad in Jannah? Sisters and brothers, please, who wants to be with the Prophet Muhammad in Jannah? Who wants to be the neighbor of the Prophet Muhammad in Jannah? Who wants to be the neighbor? The neighbor, you're the neighbor of Prophet Muhammad. Who wants to be? Me, Dutch of Egypt, me. Anyone else? Me? Anybody? I know all of you, but I want to talk to you. Inshallah, me. MashaAllah. Anybody else who wants to be the neighbor of the Prophet in Jannah? Sister Shazia, Imzi, and Anila Masoud, you, and Rose Lally, you. Facebook, me, Hanifa. Who else other than Hanifa on Facebook? Fatima, Karim, of course you, of course. But then there's me and family. Allah Akbar, Jazakallah khair, you and family. Bilal Patel, you, of course. Who wants to be the neighbor of the Prophet in Jannah? There's a difference between being in Jannah and between being the neighbor of Prophet in Jannah. A huge difference. There's a huge difference. Of course there's a huge difference. Because the Prophet Muhammad will not be in just any level in Jannah. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam will be in the highest level in Jannah. So I'm asking the question here is, who wants to be the neighbor of the Prophet in Jannah? You'll be so close to him in Jannah. Who wants to be that one, that person? Who wants to be that person? All of you, a lot of you are saying me and family, me and my loved ones. Allahu Akbar, Sister Naja, Sister Nawal. Tayyib. So, mashallah, great. So here's what the Prophet ﷺ says. Me, he says, "Inna min ahabbikum ilayya." Allahu Akbar. "Inna min ahabbikum ilayya wa aqrabakum minni majlisan yawm al-qiyamah ahsinukum akhlaqa." The Prophet ﷺ says, those the most beloved to me amongst you, the most that I love the most, the people that I love the most, and those that will be so close to me in the day of judgment, in Jannah, those that will be close to me in the day of judgment, and those that I love the most are those with good moral conducts, good moral manners, good characters, good adab, good akhlaq. If you want to be with the Prophet in Jannah, so close to him, like I said, there's a difference between being in Jannah and between being close to the Prophet Muhammad in Jannah. A huge difference. Here, the Prophet says, those that I love the most and those that will be the closest to me in the day of judgment are those that have good moral conduct and good manners and good akhlaq. Allahu Akbar. So this is easy. I mean, you may say it's easy, and it depends. The choice is yours. The choice is yours and mine. You want to be close to the Prophet Muhammad in Jannah? Well, he says, "Ahasinakum akhlaqa." Those who have good morals of conducts, those who have good etiquettes, adab, good manners, something that we lack today. A lot of Muslims lack this adab today. Unfortunately, a lot of Muslims lack this adab, the adab of the way they talk, the way they behave, the way they act. Haya. Sisters, one of the most beloved, there's one of the most beloved actions and attributes to the Prophet and to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This beautiful attribute called al-haya. Al-haya. Chastity. Even there is Allah Azza wa Jalla has a name called al-hayy. Al-hayy from al-haya. Yastahi. Somebody who feels ashamed sometimes, embarrassed. Something comes out from him, or something that, in terms of actions or deeds or sayings. It's a beautiful khuluq to have. Beautiful khuluq to have. Somebody who is shy. Beautiful khuluq. Beautiful manner. He's shy. Some people who can't even look at your eyes when you're talking. Like this. Beautiful khuluq. The Prophet Muhammad, as reported by Anas radiallahu anhu, Anas was a kid. A kid. He lived, he says, for 10 years with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He says, ما سمعت منه قول فحش قط. I never heard of him any foul language, any obscenity. He was a kid, and as a kid, he could have, anything could come out from a kid. He's a kid. He could be naughty. Of course, he's a kid. He could have been naughty so many times. Yet the Prophet, he says, I've never heard or seen any obscenity from Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam towards him. Yani. This is something called good morals and good conduct and good manners, good adab. And as I mentioned in the beginning, you don't have to be a Muslim to have good adab. But subhanAllah, sometimes nowadays, you feel shy, you feel embarrassed, you feel weird, strange. You hear a president giving a speech, a leader, an executive, right? And then as they're speaking, as they're talking, every sentence you have a found language. Every sentence there is one or two or three, obscene and foul, language, words that come out from their mouth. This brother that went with us, may Allah guide him, Allah khair, 3 or 4 years back when I went, this one brother, they came from the US, Allah khair, very well known rapper, very well known rapper. He's a huge celebrity in the US, all over the world, by the way, and he came for Hajj, and he was with me. So they told me, please, this is a very, very high profile person, please take care of him, be with him. So I was accompanying him. He's a rapper. In Mecca, in Medina, I'm trying to talk to him. In every sentence he makes, he has to go in that foul language. In Mecca or Medina. So I understood, we tried, be patient with him and everything. This is his background. He just embraced Islam. This is the background. But subhanAllah, how these people, who grew up in that environment. And unfortunately, our kids are trying to mimic this type of behavior. Of this, using this foul language. And this is called al-fahisha. And it's one of the signs of the hereafter, one of the signs of Qiyamah, as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they came to him. When they came to him, sisters and brothers? When he went to Ta'if, amazing story. Amazing story. Please give me your hearts. Give me your hearts. Are you listening to me, sisters and brothers, please? Are you there with me? Are you following? Are you following? Are you following me? Because this is, I want you to, give me your heart and listen to, I'm sure you've heard the story, but I'm going to take a twist on it. A little twist. So you're with me here? Are you with me? All of you? Aisha? Yasmin? All of us, everyone? All right, Sajida? Jazakallah khair, Sajida. Okay, Mus and Nawal. All right, okay. So this is when the Prophet went to Ta'if. All right? The Prophet, he went to Ta'if. And after they stoned him, so imagine this. You know the story. When they stoned him and threw rocks at him, he was bleeding everywhere. Blood was coming from his face, from his mouth, from his feet, behind his feet, his ankle. They threw rocks at him. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He was asked to make dua against them, to curse them. He must have been angry. He'd just been stoned. Make dua against them. Curse them. ما بعثت لعانا. He said, ما بعثت لعانا. I was not sent to curse. I'm not a curser. I don't curse. I don't curse, he said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And why did I mention this? Because it's not like, he's just sitting, you're been sitting and you're comfortable and nothing is happening, and okay, make dua for the father, make dua against them. No, here is, this is why I said, listen to me with your heart, because he was in the midst of that, of just being stoned, being tortured, and then somebody comes to tell him, curse them. He says, I'm not sent to curse. I don't curse. So much so that Jibreel came to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he says, Ya Rasulullah, the angel of the mountain is with me. Allah has seen what those people have done to you. Allah has seen what those people have done to you, or have done to you. I have the angel of the mountain with me here. Just order him, he will crush them between al-akhshabain. Between al-akhshabain are two mountains that actually still located in At-Ta'if. One mountain called Abu Qubays and one mountain called Al-Ahmar, called Al-Akhshabain. So he says, if you want the angel of the mountains to crush them between these two mountains, he will. Just order him. We've seen what they have done to you. You came to give da'wah, and instead, they stoned you. Ya Rasulullah, order the angel to curse them, to destroy them. And then the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, no. I wish and I pray that off of their progeny, people will come out that will be muwahhideen, that will worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imagine if the Prophet was to curse them, there would be no Ta'if today. There would be no Ta'if today if the Prophet was to curse them. But he did not curse them. He made dua for them. And he says, I wish and pray that off of their progeny, that people who will come, who will be muwahhideen, who will be Muslim, who will be believers. And that's what happened. So sisters and brothers, this is one of the signs of the hereafter, the signs of Qiyamah, when you start seeing, foul language, and cursing and obscenity. That's one minor sign. Another minor sign, like I mentioned, I will mention 3 minor signs, inshallah, in this session. The second minor sign is taqti' al-arham, severing the ties of kinship. Severing the ties of kinship, or cutting the ties of kinship. The ties of kinship, who we're talking about? The father, the mother, the auntie, the uncle, the brother, the sister, the cousins, your kinship. And this definitely has prevailed. You've seen it, and we've seen it a lot. People have severed ties of kinship. They cut their connection with their families because of some dunya. Excuse me. I know some of you may say, but there's a situation here. I'm not talking about that situation. I'm talking in general that sometimes because of a dunya, maybe sometimes because of some money, or because of some inheritance, right? We cut the ties of kinship totally because of dunya again. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, reported by Bukhari and Muslim, narrated by Abu Hurairah, إن الله تعالى خلق الخلق حتى إذا فرغ منهم قامت الرحم قالت هذا مقام العائد بك من القطيع قال لها الله سبحانه وتعالى أترضين أن أصل من وصلك وأن أقطع من قطعك قالت رضيت. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created mankind, hadith in Bukhari and Muslim, when Allah created mankind, the rahim stood up, the kinship came up, that asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to avenge it or her from people who severed it or severed her. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told the qati'at al-rahim, told the kinship, would you be pleased if I were to cut ties with you and uphold whoever upholds ties with you? Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allah is asking the rahim, Allah is asking the kinship, would you like me? Would you be pleased if I were to cut whoever cuts ties with you? Cut them. and uphold, whoever upholds ties with you, she says, I'm pleased, I would be pleased. And then the Prophet says, اقرأوا إن شئتم فهل عسيتم إن توليتم أن تفسدوا في الأرض وتقطعوا أرحامكم وتقطعوا أرحامكم أولئك الذين لعنهم الله فأصمهم وأعمى أبصارهم فهل عسيتم إن توليتم أن تفسدوا في الأرض وتقطعوا أرحامكم أولئك الذين لعنهم الله فأصمهم وأعمى أبصارهم. Allah is asking about those who cut the ties of kinship. إن توليتم, if you were to go back and spread mischief on earth. And what's this mischief? Mischief, as Allah is saying, أن تفسدوا في الأرض. You spread mischief. What kind of mischief? تقطعوا أرحامكم. You cut the ties of it. So tying the kinship, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is regarding it as mischief on earth. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. When was the last time شيخي وحبيبي شيخ رضا, الله أكبر, شيخي وحبيبي is online. شيخ رضا بديل is online. الله أكبر, الله أكبر. السلام عليكم شيخنا الحفاظل, شيخي وحبيبي شيخ رضا. السلام عليكم sister Hadi. Tell I send my salam to sister to Sheikh Rida inshallah from me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala considers, mischief, or regards mischief as, somebody who ties the tie of kinship or cuts the ties of kinship. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala perceives that as mischief on earth. Sisters and brothers, do you want barakah in your rizq? Okay, I'm going to ask you a question, all of you again. All of you. And you only have one answer, right? Only one answer. You don't have two. Would you like barakah? Would you like barakah, blessing in your lifespan and in your wealth? My question to all of you: do you want barakah? Do you want Allah to put blessing in your age, in your lifespan, right? In your life and in your wealth? Would you? I'm asking you a question. As I mentioned, you have only one answer. She said yes, and Eames, she said yes. How about Facebook? Yes. Tachubit and Jamila, yes. And Rosalie, yes. And Aisha, yes. And Yasmin, yes. Do you want Allah to put blessing in your wealth and your lifespan? Yes. Abnesh and Muslim, and I cannot pronounce these names, but I'm talking about Subhan, yes, and Shazia, yes, and Maliha, yes, Hanifa, yes, and Wal, yes, Abne, yes. All right. Ayaz Bati, yes. Okay, well, listen up. Listen, this is, it's not rocket science here. Look what the Prophet Muhammad says, hadith reported by Bukhari and Muslim and narrated by Anas. Bukhari and Muslim, they report that Anas radiallahu anhu narrates that the Prophet Muhammad says, من أحب أن يبسط الله له في رزقه وأن ينسأ في أثره فليصل رحمه. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam says, sallallahu alayhi wasallam says, من أراد أن يبسط الله له في رزقه وأن ينسأ له في أثره فليصل رحمه. The Prophet says, whosoever wants that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put blessing in his rizq, in his wealth. And by the way, rizq is not necessarily money. Allahu Akbar. Rizq is not necessarily money. A lot of people think rizq is something financial. Rizq could be money. It could be your home is rizq. Your kids rizq. Your spouse is rizq. Your friend is rizq. Your car is rizq. Your phone is rizq. Your health is rizq. You prayed Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, Fajr. That's rizq. Your friend is rizq. Sister Hanifa, tell Sheikh Rida, tell my Sheikh, for me he is rizq from Allah for me. Your friend, na'am, is rizq. So it is not necessarily money. Time is rizq. Na'am Aisha, time is rizq. So the Prophet says, whosoever wants Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to put blessing in his rizq and to also put blessing in his lifespan, فَلْيَصِلْ رَحِمَهُ, let him tie the tie of kinship. Let him uphold the tie of kinship. The kinship, your sister, your auntie, your uncle, ammatak, your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, these are all from the tie, from the kinship. So uphold that tie of kinship, insha'Allah ta'ala. When was the last time you picked up the phone to call them? I'm not saying you visited them. Wallah, as I was preparing this lecture, I swear by Allah, and Allah is my witness. And I think my auntie, she could be here watching me. My auntie, she could be here watching me. I picked up the phone. Of course. Sheikh Rida, they are missing your cliffhangers. They wanted to come live with me here. I'm just relaying what people are saying, Sheikh. They wanted to come live with me so that you can give them some cliffhangers. So Sheikh Rida, if you can come on Instagram and let's go live together, inshallah ta'ala. I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? Forgot what I was saying. Your sister, your brothers, your aunties, you know, these are all your kinship. But I was saying something before that. What was I saying? Can you remind me, guys? What was I saying? Your aunt? You? Oh yes. Thank you, Aisha. Jazakallah, Aisha. Barakallahu fiki. I forgot. When I was preparing this lecture, I walked the talk. I picked up the phone and I sent a voice message to my auntie, two of them, in two different cities, just to ask about them and tie that tie of kinship. And they were really happy. They're really happy when I called them. Alhamdulillah. So talk, sisters and brothers. Call your, if they're still alive, if you have aunties or uncles or cousins or please, if you want Allah Azza wa Jal to put blessings in your life, in your health, inshallah ta'ala, don't cut that tie because of the hadith of the Prophet, because of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala considers to be mischief, if you tie the ties or if you cut the ties with them. That's the hadith, this other hadith that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, this hadith, sisters and brothers, I'm going to mention now, answers the question to those who say, but they mean to me. They mean to me. They slammed the door on me. They hang up the phone on me. All right, this hadith I'm going to mention right now answers that question. Answers that question right now. Because some of you may say, but Sheikh, I try. Every time I call them or I go to visit them, or they're mean, they curse, they this, they that, they don't want me to stay in touch with them. The hadith I'm going to mention right now answers that question. He answers that question. All right, here's the hadith. The hadith reported by Muslim. So this is not any hadith, just so you know. Hadith sahih, authentic, reported by Muslim. That the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, رجل يقول للنبي يا رسول الله إن لي قرابة أصلهم ويقطعونني إن لي قرابة أصلهم ويقطعونني أحسن إليهم ويسيئون إلي أحلم عنهم ويجهلون علي. Ya Rasulullah, this man came to the Prophet complaining, Ya Rasulullah, I have some members of my family. I try to, to keep the tie of kinship, but they don't uphold it. They cut it. And every time I try to tie that tie of kinship, they cut it. I'm trying to be nice to them, but they're mean to me. You see, they mean to me. They're mean to me. They don't treat me well. They're good. I'm being so kind to them, but they're not as kind to me. Yani Rasulullah, should I leave them alone? Should I just desert them? What should I do with them? Then the Prophet ﷺ says, لَإِن كُنْتَ كَمَا تَقُولْ فَكَأَنَّمَا تُسِنُّهُمْ الْمَلْ يعني تطعمهم التراب. ولا يزال معك من الله ظهير عليهم ما دمت على ذلك. الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد. The Prophet says, if you are as you're claiming to be, if you are as you're claiming to be, it is as if with what the treatment that they're treating, as if they are consuming this dust. يعني the way that they're treating you, as if they are consuming this very, very bad dust, يعني earth. And that, يعني it's an analogy that the Prophet is making. وَلَا يَزَالُ مَعَكَ ظَهِيرٌ مِّنَ اللَّهِ مَا دُمْتَ عَلَى ذَلك. He says, and Allah, the help of Allah, the assistance of Allah, the guidance of Allah will remain with you as long as you are doing what you're doing, as long as you keep doing what you're doing. يعني the more you, the Prophet said, the help of Allah, the help of Allah, the assistance of Allah, the guidance from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the protection from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will remain with you as long as you keep doing what you're doing. Allahu Akbar. So this answers the question to those who may say, every time I try, they're evil and they're bad to me. يا أخي السلام عليكم كيف حالكم؟ السلام عليكم رمضان مبارك، السلام عليكم عيد مبارك. I hope you're all doing fine. How can I do anything for you? Can I shop anything? Can I buy you anything with this virus? You know, would you like me to bring you anything home? Inshallah. That's all it takes. If they are, this is between them and Allah Azza wa Jal. You know, they're bad, but you don't treat bad with evil. Don't treat evil with evil. Treat evil with kindness, inshallah ta'ala, and always kindness will win. The last minor sign I want to mention, sisters and brothers, is su' al-jiwar, as mentioned by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Su' al-jiwar. Su' al-jiwar. What does that mean? Ill treatment towards your neighbors. Ill treatment towards your neighbors. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam spoke so much about the hadith. طيب. إن لي قرابة أصلهم ويصلونني ويقطعونني. في الحديث الصحيح إن لي قرابة أصلهم ويقطعونني أحسن إليهم ويسيئون إلي وأحلم عنهم ويجهلن علي. لئن كنت كما تقول كما قال عليه السلام فكأنما تسنهم المل أو المل يعني التراب ولا يزال معك من الله ظهير ما دمت على ذلك. This is the hadith. A man came to the Prophet telling him, Ya Rasulullah, I have, my family which I try to keep that tie of kinship with them, but they cut it. I try to be good to them, but they are evil to me, and I'm kind to them, but they're mean to me. And then the Prophet says, as long as you're doing, what you're doing, the help of Allah will remain with you. Now, the third and final sign which I'd like to cover today, inshallah ta'ala, is regarding the neighbors. And the neighbors, my brothers and sisters, does not have, it does not necessarily mean a Muslim neighbor. Not necessarily mean a Muslim neighbor. Let me take the Prophet Muhammad, reported by Bukhari Muslim. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Man kana yu'minu billahi wal yawmil akhir falyukrim jarah." Jarah in general. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Whosoever believes in Allah and the Day of Judgment, let him be kind and let him honor his neighbor." Let him honor his neighbor. Right? Whosoever believes in Allah and the Day of Judgment, فَلْيُكْرِمْ جَارَهُ. Let him honor and be kind to his neighbor. And Jibreel used to advise Prophet Muhammad about the neighbors so much so that the Sahaba thought that the neighbor will inherit from us. Like they thought that at some point the neighbor would inherit from them, so much so that the Prophet was talking so much about the neighbor and the kind of neighbor, treating the neighbor with goodness and with kindness, so much so that the Sahaba at some point maybe the Prophet will tell them that the neighbor will inherit from them. Oh, wallahi la yu'min. Hadith al-Bukhari wa Muslim. Wallahi la yu'min. Wallahi la yu'min. Imagine, this is not a joke. The Prophet is swearing by Allah 3 times. 3 times swearing by Allah. Wallahi la yu'min. By Allah, he's not a believer. Wallahi la yu'min. By Allah, he's a believer. Wallahi la yu'min. By Allah, he's not a believer. Who ya Rasulullah? Who is this man? Wallahi la yu'min. Wallahi la yu'min. Wallahi. By Allah, he's not a believer. Who ya Rasulullah? Man la ya'man jaruhu bawa'iqah. لا يأمن جاره بوائقه. Neighbor does not feel safe towards him. لا يأمن بوائقه. Your neighbor does not feel safe with you. Your neighbor, feels that you're harming him. Your neighbor feels that you're being, evil and not nice. So the Prophet is saying, by Allah, يعني لا يؤمن. He is not a believer. He's not a believer. Who is this man who is not a believer? The one whose neighbor does not feel secure, with him. Meaning, يعني the neighbor feels that you are mistreating him. How can you mistreat your neighbor? He told you not to park next to his parking, and you keep on parking next to his parking. That's his parking. Don't park there. You keep on throwing stuff in his backyard. You keep on, I don't know, making noise. And your neighbor comes and knocks at the door. Please, cut it down a little bit. Loud, may Allah forbid, may Allah forgive, those, loud music. Or even loud Quran. You put it so loud, you're disturbing. You're disturbing your neighbor. This is something that, this is what the Prophet is talking about. You are harming him in that sense, not necessarily by harming him by going and beating him up. No, harming him by doing things that would make him feel uncomfortable. Don't make him feel uncomfortable. Right? This is what it means here by, being a neighbor. A sister, she's complaining about her neighbor. A brother complaining about his neighbor. Wallahi, alhamdulillah, I did this, and it's okay to share it with you, and I'm inshallah ta'ala. I did this, my neighbor who was not a Muslim, but this happened like 15 years ago when I just moved into, about 18 years back. My first or second year, I don't remember, in Canada. I had a neighbor, an old man. His name is Peter. We'll never forget this guy, Peter. My wife made couscous one day. You know couscous, you guys? Right? Couscous. So we took a little bit of couscous, a plate, and I took it to his home and I knocked at the door, and I gave it to him. He says, "What's this?" He says, "What's this?" I just said, this is a Moroccan dish, very popular Moroccan dish that my wife made. I love you, and I just want to share a little bit with you. You know what he said? He says, "I've been in this neighborhood for 16 years. Nobody has ever come to me, knock at my door, and give me anything, or even say hi." And he knew I was a Muslim. I didn't have to tell him I'm Muslim. Just by the way I looked and stuff, I was a Muslim. I knew my wife, with the hijab. He knew we're different. So I gave him some couscous, and he says, "Been here for 16 years. Nobody has ever done." Alhamdulillah, like my neighbor, there was a lady. When I shovel the snow, I've shoveled the snow for all. When I cut the lawn, the grass, I do it in my neighbor, and my neighbor does it for me. So this is you can do da'wah indirectly. Indirect da'wah. Ramadan is coming, sisters and brothers. Why don't you go to your neighbor? You can come out and give them some sweets, right? Some sweets. You don't, not can leave it to them at the door, or you don't have to just go and talk to them because they're scared. You just give it to them, at the door, place it by the door, and then leave. It's okay, right? But please make sure that sweet does not contain, something spicy. I mentioned this before. If you're gonna give them something, don't give them something so spicy that they will eat it and they may die and call you a terrorist. You say, "Oh, this coronavirus has put everything down. This coronavirus has locked everything down, and now these Muslims, they're trying to find some other ways to create terrorism. So these guys are giving us food that contains spices, and you're gonna kill the guy." Don't do that. Just give them something nice and say, "This is try not to put any spices in the whatever that you give them, inshallah." What is tell them? If I know what I mean. Yeah, you don't want them to call you terrorist, right? You're a terrorist, man. You're a terrorist. You don't have a gun, but you killed me with your couscous. You killed me with your biryani. He says, "What? What do you mean I killed you with your biryani?" "Yeah, you killed my husband with your biryani." "What do you mean you killed my husband?" "I didn't kill your husband. I wasn't even out. I just..." "No, yeah, you killed him, you terrorist. You killed him with your biryani. You put spices in your biryani. There was this huge spice, and then he ate it, and my husband, passed out. You almost killed him, you terrorist." No, don't do that. أيوة جزاكم الله خير بارك الله فيكم. What about a son who slanders his elderly لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله and allows his wife to do the same and cuts ties with her? She still knocks at his door although she did nothing to him. No, the kinship is the opposite to the touch of Egypt. The kinship is the opposite. They are the ones who has to come and honor you and visit you. You're talking about your son. Your son is the one who has to come. But this is worse than the ties of kinship. This is the worst. This is a son who is his elderly mom. This is. Please go back and watch lesson number 8. Lesson number 8, or share it with them. Lesson number 8, where I talk about parenting and stuff. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. I can't believe this. A son, the sister is asking a son who slanders his elderly mom, and also he tells his wife to slander his mother. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. La hawla wa la. Wallahi, this is one of the signs of the day of judgment. Wallahi, 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 this is the sign of the day of judgment. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. اللهم لا تؤاخذنا بما فعل السفهاء منا اللهم لا تؤاخذنا بما فعل السفهاء منا اللهم لا تؤاخذنا بما فعل السفهاء منا لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. All right, brothers and sisters, جزاكم الله خير. This is it, inshallah ta'ala. This is my it puts an end to our session tonight. It was about 3 minor signs. Three minor signs. We talked about al-fuhsh wal-fahisha, obscenity. We talked about qata'at rahim, tying or cutting the ties of kinship. And the third minor sign that we mentioned was su'al mujawara, ill treatment or ill treating your neighbors. So these are the 3 signs that we talked about today. Any questions, sisters and brothers? Any questions? Is the brother, the singer, J. Volp, if you're back, if you came back, maybe we can end in a beauty. We can end in a beauty with nasheed, inshallah ta'ala. If brother, the munshid, the nasheed artist, if he's there, then inshallah, maybe we can have one last nasheed to end in beauty, inshallah. Ameen, jazakumullah khair. Any questions, sisters and brothers? Any questions, inshallah? Or comments? Otherwise, we'll end with the dua, inshallah ta'ala. I hope some of you are fasting. Those of you are still in the East Canada, you're fasting, or we can make dua. Those of you who are in Europe, may Allah accept your fasting. If you have fasted, we'll accept your dua. We will make dua for all of us, inshallah ta'ala. But first, let me check if there's any questions. If not, then we can end with dua, inshallah ta'ala. Jazakallah wa iyyakum, Sister Aisha, barakallahu fiki. Sister Rosalie, barakallahu fiki, jazakallah khair. Yes, but Najam, no, don't. These are not ideas, man. Don't use them. I'm just saying. Anyone, inshallah? The artist brother, are you there? If that artist brother is there, we can use him. If not, then inshallah ta'ala, we're gonna end with dua. But because Instagram will cut in a minute or two, I'm gonna end the session of Instagram and then go back live again for the dua. All right, I'm gonna, just end the session, save it, just only for Instagram, not Facebook. I'm gonna end the session, save it, and then go live again, inshallah ta'ala. I'm gonna go live again, so come back, inshallah. May Allah, Ameen, Sister Sajida. Jazakallah khair. Barakallah fik, Sister Hanifa. Barakallah fik. Thank you. All right, Sister Shazia, she's here, all over there. Okay. Nawal is here, all of you there. Okay. The Moroccan connection. The Husayma connection. The Rif connection. Okay, and the Pakistani connection. All right, Bismillah. Make dua, inshallah ta'ala. Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. اهدنا فيمن هديت وعافنا فيمن عافيت وتولنا فيمن توليت وبارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا شر ما قضيت فإنك تقضي بالحق ولا يقضى عليه لا يعز من عاديت ولا يذل من واليت تباركت ربنا وتعاليت. اللهم بارك لنا فيما أعطيت وقنا واصرف عنا شر ما قضيت. الله عافنا في أبداننا وعافنا في أسماعنا وعافنا في أبصارنا لا إله إلا أنت. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من عذاب القبر. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من عذاب القبر. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من عذاب الدنيا والآخرة. اللهم عافنا في أبداننا. اللهم عافنا في أسماعنا. اللهم عافنا في أبصارنا لا إله إلا أنت. اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من الكفر والفقر ونعوذ بك من عذاب القبر لا إله إلا أنت. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إنا كنا من الظالمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إنا كنا من الظالمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إنا كنا من الظالمين. اللهم يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث وأغثنا. اللهم يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث وأغثنا. اللهم يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك نستغيث وأغثنا. اللهم يا رب لا تدع لنا في مقامنا هذا ذنبا إلا غفرته ولا هما إلا فرجته ولا دينا إلا قضيته ولا ضالا إلا هديته ولا ضالا إلا هديته ولا مريضا إلا شفيته ولا مريضا إلا شفيته ولا مبتلا إلا شفيته ولا مبتلا إلا شفيته ولا مبتلا إلا عافيته ولا مبتلا إلا عافيته ولا مبتلا إلا عافيته ولا حاجة من حوائج الدنيا والآخرة إلا وقد أمر الرحمين. اللهم ارفع مقتك وغضبك عنا. اللهم ارفع مقتك وغضبك عنا. اللهم ارفع مقتك وغضبك عنا. اللهم ارفع هذا البلاء وهذا الوباء عنا. اللهم هذا الوباء وهذا البلاء عنا. اللهم ارفع هذا الوباء وهذا البلاء عنا يا رب العالمين. يا حي برحمتك نستغيث وأغثنا. Oh Allah, we ask you, Ya Rabbil Alameen, in this beautiful day, the day of Thursday, whereby, as you have mentioned through your Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, you have mentioned that the a'mal of son of Adam, they go up to Ya Rabbi, they get ascended to you every Monday and Thursday. And our Prophet used to love to fast on Mondays and Thursdays because he wants that as the a'mal, as his deeds go up to you, that he would be fasting on that day. So we are fasting. Some of us are fasting today. Some of us are still fasting. Some of us broke their fast today. Ya Rabbil Alameen, we're asking you, as the dua of the fasting is granted, as you have mentioned through your Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the dua of the fasting is mustajab. We're asking you, Ya Rabbil Alameen, we're asking you to alleviate this pain and this tribulation and this pandemic upon us, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Rabbi, we're going to keep on asking you and imploring you until you get it out, Ya Rabbil Alameen. We have no God to ask but you, and we have no Lord to supplicate but you. Ya Rabbil Alameen, Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Yes, we have learned so many lessons from this very tiny pandemic. We have heard and we have learned so many lessons from it, Ya Rabbil Alameen. We have learned to cherish our family. We have learned to cherish what we have. We have learned to cherish our health. We have learned to come back to you and to connect with you and to make dua to you, Ya Rabbil Alameen, because no doctor can give shifa. No doctor can give shifa. No one can give the cure except you. We have learned so much, Ya Rabbi. We have learned to appreciate these little things that we take for granted. We really have learned to appreciate these very tiny things that we tend to take for granted, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen, Ya Rabbil Alameen, Ya Akram al-Akrameen, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Be pleased with it. If you meant to take any one of us, Ya Rabbi, don't take us until you are only pleased with us. Ya Rabbi, if you meant to take any one of us to this ordeal, Ya Rabbi, don't take anyone unless and until you are pleased with them, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Arhamar Rahimeen. Make our last word in this dunya La ilaha illallah. Ya Rabbi, make our last word in this dunya La ilaha illallah. Ya Rabbi, make our last word in this dunya La ilaha illallah. ولا نعبد إلا إياه له النعمة وله الفضل وله الثناء الحسن لا إله إلا الله مخلصين له الدين ولو كره الكافرون. Ya Rabbil Alameen, protect our loved ones, protect our parents, those amongst us whose parents are still alive. Ya, protect them, protect our loved ones, protect our children, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Protect our children, our daughters and sons, our moms and dads, our wives and husbands, Ya Rabbi, our families. Help us tie of kinship, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Makes us among those who tie the ties of kinship, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Don't make us amongst those who cut the ties of kinship. Make us amongst those who uphold the ties of kinship. and don't make us amongst those who sever the ties of kinship, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Arham Ar-Rahimeen, Ya Rabbil Alameen, protect us all in this blessed, beautiful day. Protect us all, Ya Rabbil Alameen, Ya Arham Ar-Rahimeen, Ya Arham Ar-Rahimeen. Be pleased with us, Akram Akrameen. Grant us the highest level in Jannah. Grant us the companionship of the Prophet Muhammad in Jannah. Grant us be his neighbor in Jannah, Ya Rabbi, and make us among those who will see your face every day in Jannah. Make us amongst those who will see us every day in Jannah, Ya Rabbil Alameen. Ya Rahameen, Ya Arham Ar-Rahimeen, Ya Arham Ar-Rahimeen, Ya Arham Ar-Rahimeen. يا أكرم الأكرمين يا أحد يا صمد يا الذي لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد يا حنان يا منان يا بديع السماوات والأرض يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. Grant us, Ya Rabb al-Alameen, a drink from the hands of Prophet Muhammad from the basin of Al-Kawthar. Ya Rabbi, grant us a drink or a sip from the hands of our Prophet Muhammad from the basin of Al-Kawthar, as if we were to drink from it, we shall never feel thirsty again, Ya Rabbi al-Alameen. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم لك الحمد. اللهم لك الحمد. اللهم لك الحمد. جزاكم الله خير. Sisters and brothers, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for attending. Thank you so much for joining. It's an honor to come and see you, or at least, see you, but online. Alhamdulillah. It's really an honor. Barakallahu fik, Sister Nawal. Barakallahu fiki. Is vocal here, the Nasheed artist? Are you with us here today? If you're here, maybe it would be nice to end with a very nice Nasheed, inshallah. If not, I'm going to end this, inshallah. But if the brother Munshid, are you here? The Nasheed artist, are you with us? وإياكم وإياكم, Touch of Egypt. Jazakallah khair. Barakallah fik. May Allah Azza wa Jalla alleviate your pain and that stress or distress that you are going through, sister. Okay. Barakallah fikum. Jazakumullah khair. Facebook, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I shall see you tomorrow, inshallah ta'ala. Same time, same venue, same place. Two lectures. One at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. That's the fiqh of fasting, talking about fasting, which is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 o'clock UK time. And the second lecture is at 6 p.m. Eastern time, which is p.m. UK time. That's the end of time series, inshallah ta'ala. I'm thinking of maybe doing a khutbah Jum'ah. I thought about it just today, to do a khutbah and then just play dhuhr. Maybe do khutbah live, inshallah ta'ala. If you think maybe it's a good idea, why don't you text me? Send me a private message, inshallah, of what you think. Maybe you can do a live khutbah, Jum'ah khutbah, inshallah. Other than that, jazakumullah khair, barakallah fik. Thank you. Thank you, Sister Sajida. Thank you. Thank you. Barakallah. All right. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. Thank you for the hearts, just so you know. Thank you. Brother and sister, thank you for the hearts. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum Facebook. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum.